Hey, glad I got the V6, say Stu. Oh, well, this isn't a V6, it's the diesel. This guy's glad he got the diesel because he's happy with 10 litres per 100 Ks. With the exact same driving, you get 14 litres per 100 Ks out of the V6. And how good's this? It's all wrapped up and there was nothing really exciting to see and do because it's only done 400,000 kilometres. I just got another client on the phone now. It's quite funny, text messages. He's ordering some wheel bearings. He'll be watching this video. So we're always respectful, but we're just having a laugh, right? And he put in the message, he goes, oh, glad I got the V6. Because there's all these people that go, glad I got the V6, right? But as I said, the V6 has got their own problems. And I haven't read the message yet, but I saw something about a head gasket. And so it's probably going to say, oh, when I got it, you know, it had a head gasket. And, you know, these things cost thousands as well. Like dropping the tanks to change the fuel gauges and crank seals and cam seals. Yeah, I mean, you know, when your rear main seal leaks and you got to drop the transmission, hundreds of dollars or major works, you know. And then down the front here, all the bearings, the idlers, they get noisy because more RPMs and all that. You know, look, water pumps leak just like anything else and whatever, you know. So we're not picking them. They're all really good engines, okay? But there's a different purpose. There's two different engines with completely different purpose. And once you understand that, then you can pick the right engine. Anyway, that's enough for Stu and everybody else with their V6. Glad I got the V6. If you got the V6, put it. Hey, in the comments, let us know what engine you got, can you? Where are you from? Put this, just put where you're from, what car you've got, like say 120, 150, what year, and just put what engine you got. And while we're at it, put the transmission as well. Put 4-speed auto, 5-speed auto, 6-speed auto, or manual, whatever, 6-speed, 5-speed manual, whatever it is. Anyway, we're wrapping this one up. And it's just happened, mate. The things just happened and we just flowed and we didn't really have too many problems. Injectors a little bit stuck because they were just starting to leak. Talked about in the previous video, so check that out. It wasn't too bad. They came out. We had a look at the seats, you know, how it wasn't done properly. Some very interesting information there. In case you missed the video, it was not the original set of injectors. It was the second set that were already looking really bad. Now, I wasn't here for the valve clearance check. Do you know how to check valve clearances?
I've done a few.
Done a few, yeah. So what was the lowest? So just for everybody that's listening, so 390,000 Ks, bugger all other than basic maintenance. Pretty clean inside. It wasn't too bad, was it? Could have been a little bit better, but it wasn't bad. What was the tightest inlet valve clearance that you remember, the tightest?
Inlet, 0.229.
0.229. So well within specifications. So relax, mate. What an awesome engine. There's no hydraulic lifters that are going to let you down. There's no timing chain that's going to let you down. There's no DPF that's going to let you down. Anyway, watch the videos and you'll see what I mean. Now, on the exhaust side, correct me if I'm wrong, they're meant to be 0.4 ideally, 0.35 is the minimum, and they close up. What did you see? We saw one a little bit top.
330.
0.33, right? Whatever. It's pretty standard. We see them down to 0.3. Never a problem. You know, you can adjust them if you want. You're just wasting your time. It makes no difference to fuel economy, power, or anything else. We've been there. We've done that. This is what we specialise in. I wouldn't waste your time, to be quite honest. But if you're going to do it, you may as well do all of them and bring them back to perfect specification. Don't go a little bit more open thinking they're going to keep closing because they don't. It all happens in the first, what we've learned, it all happens in the first sort of 100 to 150, 200,000 Ks. Probably all in the first 100 mainly, and then it settles in. And we're not too sure. Go, blow the air, make noise, that's all right. We don't care. Got to clean that MAF sensor, all part of the job. But look, we don't really, what was I going to say? Look, it could be a coincidence because quite often people don't have catch cans and they have restriction and therefore there's less soot. Is that the reason why all the ones we see later, they haven't changed? Yeah, maybe. Or is it going to do that anyway because they've sort of settled in and, you know, restriction? And look, I don't know. But, you know, the pattern we see is once we see them at 100, 200,000 Ks and do injectors and we see them again for the second set or whatever at 400,000, whatever the case may be, nothing's changed. But we didn't do this the first time. It hasn't got anything there, whatever. So, you know, it could be just how they're going to be. They just, you know, and they just don't go out. Here you go. Can you swear on the Bible if you've ever adjusted valve clearances on a 1KD?
Once.
Once, did you? Yeah.
Just once.
What was the lowest you found? Do you remember why you were adjusting it? It was probably because the client was fussy anyway, right? He said, oh, no, I want to do it. Yeah, is that how it went?
When the engine was pulled out.
Oh, the engine was out. Yeah, there you go, right? So, of course, but like on an injector job and you've done hundreds of injector jobs, let's say, we're being modest here, right? And never had to adjust, right? So we know we can see 0.2s, maybe even 0.19s, 0.18s, but I'll keep using that worst case scenario experience I had where it was 0.07. And I said, mate, we really should do this one. It didn't happen. It was a year later we saw it. It hadn't changed. And he said he got awesome fuel economy. Before the job, he had 14 litres per 100 Ks. After the injector job, he had 10 litres per 100 Ks. This is what he told me. I can't guarantee it. Right, he was really happy. Couldn't afford any more money or to leave the car, but a year later, obviously injectors all came out, it all got stripped down all over again, and the readings on the valve clearances were the same a year later. And he did actually still happen to have a because he had it on there in the first place, and I'll blame the for those valve clearances, but that stayed there. But the other thing that happened is, you know what I mean? You know what I'm talking about? Put it in the comments, you know, the number 7, kayon.com.au for your, put it on your keyring, because don't come here without it, like a couple of cars have lately, because you'll be leaving without it, right? Bada bing, you need to get on your keyring, 7mm. Anyway, what else can we tell them about this? Anything exciting? So now that you've completed the work on this, and we're at the end, towards the end, in your opinion, how many times do you reckon someone had it open? Just once at injectors, or maybe another, maybe... Is there much evidence of much butchery? No? It's pretty good. It's only, that's what I was thinking as well, right? So,
Came off easy, you know,
yeah,
spring back on
that clip broken as usual, but that's all good. So we're pretty well ready to start the engine now that you've cleaned the MAF and all that. We just got to do the comp codes. Let's get the comp codes done, and yeah, then we'll start it up and we'll wrap up this video. I'll just have a think about if there's anything else you need to know about, besides if you need an injector kit anywhere in Australia, you can text me Monday morning, 7:30 a.m. and or search for latest injector kit information on our channel. That'll give you what's in the kit, all the information you need. There's a playlist or two there. One's injector information, the other one's how to buy my kit. So get in there and watch that. You really need to watch the videos if you want to understand how I roll. There's only one of me. There's hundreds of thousands of you. So obviously I can't help everyone, only the people that listen. And we'll give him some brake fluid. But he needs some brakes as well, really. So since this pretty well went to plan, I might have a discussion with him, see if he's got any spare money. Because we have got some brake pads on the shelf that I took out of my car. They're good because I just wanted to try some different, you know, the ALSI thing, and I trying different pads. But I paid for those original pads and they were not that cheap. So look, what we could do is like some half-price brake pads or something, but you still have to pay labour to put them in. So let's just see anyway. We might do the brakes and do some brake fluid or something, because that's not really a good look, is it? You know, that's not normally what they look like. And the brakes are very low from memory. Might be okay till the next service, but yeah, personally, I think I'd like to change them, but we'd have to have another look. I don't remember. Anyway, what else? Anything else to add on this that you can think of? Not really. Happy days, standard job. It looks like it's a disaster. It runs really bad. It runs rough. We see all these bad readings, but you know, the 1KDs, they're just so awesome. We do the big birthday, clean it up, put the new squirters in, and Bob's your uncle. So does this guy, Anthony and Johnny, know what he's talking about? Well, mate, that engine looks like it's running bloody better to me, but I've got to say, being a early 120, it will need the engine mounts. It's going to need a number of other things, but the major heart surgery is done. As promised, let's go and have a look at the readings, final readings. Yeah, do these guys, Anthony and Johnny, really know what they're talking about? Well, apparently not, because Anthony said the load would be down to about 11, and it's on 12. Well, you know, close enough, isn't it? Let's see what else Anthony said. Didn't he say, if I remember correctly, he would have said the injection volume would be down around 6. But based on the load, it might be 7, somewhere there, 6.5. Let's have a look. Right, look. Let's have a look at all the important readings. Let's have a look. Let's have a look. What did I say? Even from the load. Oh, sorry, I went too far. Even from the load. Done it again. We'll get there in a minute. Must be getting old, mate. That's not what's meant to happen. Anyway, whatever, right? We'll just do it like this then. I'll do it the hard way. I can do it the hard way. Okay. From the load, I told you the injection volume was going to be a tad higher as well. So 6.5, 6.5, 6.7, 6.8. No issue there. Average is about 6, sometimes higher or lower, thereabouts. Look at that though. Isn't that better than, what was the injection volume before? 12, 13, higher. Anyway.
Load was 23.
Load was out of control, 23, yeah, now it's down to about 12, about half, you know. So injectors were absolutely off their heads, right? And let's work it out, right? What did I say? I said they've probably done, I'm going to guess at 250,000 Ks. Well, they should be off their heads, right? Because that's way more than the recommendation on a 120. Average Ks, 7 years, 170 Ks, kind of really the limit. Some are going to need to be done at 120, 130 if they're 7, 8 years old, you know. But we can. The good news is on the 120s, these right here, we can look at the readings and tell you the health of your injectors. Where the 150s, we can't trust that. We need to go based on averages. They are better injectors, so that's the good news. Anyway, 1, 2, 3, 4 feedback values here. You can see they're all reasonable, no problem. Let's have a look at the main injection period at the bottom line. Remember that it was bloody 7, 8, 900, went over 1,000. And this is obviously what we're going to see. Remembering, we've got the short suction control valve, and fuel pressure plays a part in this whole picture here. And I'm going to tip that fuel pressure, once that gets right, this main injection period will settle down a bit. So we're not all the way there yet. Normally we're going to see about 430 on Pilot 1 and Pilot 2 as well. Again, I'm going to blame fuel pressure slightly for some variations there. Okay, let's have a bit of a look at that timing, what it was doing before. Does everyone remember from the, what's this, the 4th video? So 4 videos ago, probably if I put them out in order each day, you know, if I did that 4 days in a row with that, I might have put other videos in between, who knows. It's a bit all over the joint, but remember it was something like 22 degrees, wasn't it? Anyway, obviously this is right. Whatever this is here is pretty well right. And by getting the fuel pressure correct, it's going to be in peak condition. Let's just take a quick look at that fuel pressure, see what it's doing. See, up to 38, down to 29, up to 40, down to 29. It's up and down all over the joint. How can the engine be expected to run properly with incorrect fuel pressure? Outside specification and far from what normal operation is. It needs the long SCV, it needs engine mounts, it needs brakes, it needs other work, but the major work's done and the engine, have a listen to that compared to before. You remember that man with a hammer in the engine trying to wreck it? Tough engines, mate. How long's it been running like that for? Have a listen to that. Some people think it's a petrol engine. Amazing, isn't that amazing, people? Anyway, I hope you saw all the videos. I hope you get it. Very educational. Toyotas are the best. The 1KDs are awesome. Injectors don't last forever, so it doesn't want make or model diesel you get. If you're not using it as a four-wheel drive, if you've got a small car, medium car, all these vehicles, people are buying diesels, you should avoid them because they're more expensive to buy. They can be more expensive to maintain. If you're not traveling the outback, if you're not using it out on the tracks where it's more suited to than a petrol, then you shouldn't be buying one. Put pressure on Toyota. We want petrol hybrids with a plug. That way you've got a really efficient vehicle. If you've got solar you can plug in, it can be free to run, but hey, would they really want that? I think they'd get in trouble. Another CEO would get fired if they did something that good. Anyway, people, like, subscribe, turn the bell on. This is where the real information is at on how to look after your car properly, whether you want to get one of us or our workshop partners to do it, or whether you're going to do it yourself. Keep watching the videos and you will see. Thanks for watching, people. See ya.